No problem.
And we are back. Of course, it's Delta time. The time is 9:13. You're listening to the Cleopatra Show. We are up live on Facebook. Be sure to like the WVON page. Interact with me. I'll be sure to talk back with you. If you like to keep up with me exclusively, be sure to follow me across all social media platforms at Follow Cleopatra. You like to keep up with my YouTube channel. I'm looking for some subscribers and some likes. Be sure to like the Cleopatra Show and subscribe. Believe Black women. We matter. Now, the feature of the day, you heard Alex Jones, conspiracy theorist, right wing, MAGA, hardcore. Did you lean in with your ears? Now, it's a Thursday, and it's a rainy Thursday, but I'm still sprinkling some hot tea. There's a leak in that old building. And he said, we need to cut bait on Trump because he in free fall. So what am I discussing today? The sound of evil. I want to let that marinate like y'all do chicken. What does evil sound like to you? Now, for those of us that are preparing for Resurrection Sunday, I heard Passover. Some of you all go with the American iteration, Easter, looking for a bunny. I'm looking for the word. And one thing about it, secret little weapon, I do know it. So let's talk about it. For all my students that came to class on time, how many tongues does Lucifer speak in? Now, if you know the answer, give me a call, 773-591-1690. You can put it in the chat as well. It's not a trick question. You just heard Alex Jones say that he hopes the Holy Spirit touches Trump's heart because he is evil. Now, if a hardcore Caucasian male American can identify in the values of the becoming of Trump and can decipher as to when it has gone awry, and he is not alone. Joe Rogan, one of the top podcasters in America, white men in America. And then I would think about what I tell my husband. What make you say they're a man? These white human beings, Caucasian human beings that identify with the male genitalia are declaring that something wrong. Now you still have a few black ones. Oh, God bless us. You went rogue, don't want to come home, cut your nose, spite your face, and you gonna swim to the end of the earth because you have found something identifiable about this being that you identify as human and its likeness that you can connect with, despite all of the elements, all of the mayhem, all of the carnage, from children to adults, that is under the tutelage and the ramification of a Trump. And you will still hold tight. Now here it is. Alex Jones is saying, cut the bait. He is in a free-for-all. You could tell something is wrong with his brain. He's babbling. Where's this across every paper in America? Did you see what I saw? Now I listened to it in depth this morning, and I am talking about the address to the nation. And I feel as though the nation owes Americans apologies and checks for stealing 18 minutes and 48 seconds of our lives. I'm interested in what say you. 773-591-1690. I am discussing the sound of evil. And I know There are some of us Black Americans that put S's on everything. You know, you go into the jewels. No, it's singular, right? So it's not the sounds, it is the sound of evil. Now, I just I asked a question. How many tongues does Lucifer speak in? That's different. But when you hear the sound of evil, what do you hear? Now, if Alex Jones can identify it and all of what he supports, I'm interested in what can you identify? And then when we return, I'll discuss our question of the day. Which direction is America headed? We'll be back after this break. The sound of evil, Titus.
Experience the power, passion, and breathtaking athleticism of Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater live at the Auditorium April 24th through the 26th under the direction of newly appointed.
Evil has a sound, and depending on what evil is, it also has a smell.
Enjoy Ailey's 5 Chicago premieres, contemporary favorites, and the rugged masterpieces. Tickets are on sale now at auditoriumtheater.org. Secure your seat. Friday night premieres continues on Bond TV with a story that's as real as it is hilarious. Friday, April 3rd at 7 p.m. Don't miss King Bar.
Damn you. Bad laptop.
Stay tuned for more dynamic storytelling as the Friday night of premieres continues exclusively on Bond TV. Watch on
Work.
Amazon Fire, Apple TV Plus, the WBON app, or at Bond TV for the culture by one Saturday. Watch Martin Luther King Jr. Enemies of the Tree on Bond TV. See how researchers declassify FBI documents and historical records suggest a deeper story that ultimately silenced one of the 20th century's most powerful voices.
Hey everybody, this is Kendall Moore, the Kendall Moore Show, getting you from your work week to the weekend each and every Friday night from 6 and 10 p.m. Every Friday night with the Kendall Show.
What did I just do with my phone?
I don't know why, but I can't find the page. Is it on anything?
No.
This Saturday, April 4th, Faith Meets Finance on the South Side. Stand in the Black is back. An all-day family-powered economic activation led by the Chatham District. Faith Valley Future after faith and support organizations. Beginning at 10 a.m. on 750 King Drive, more than 100 Black-owned businesses are lined the streets, serving up everything. Startups and handmade goods. And WBON's own Max Secure will broadcast live from 10 a.m. to 2 noon, and again from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. Last year, Hollywood showed up and nearly $1 million circulated with this year, even bigger people. This supports economic empowerment.
Let's see if that's a change.
I left the phone in there.
Okay.
You think it's my computer?
Yeah, they still picking us up.
So I'm gonna go to the settings. How about now? I just muted me. Nope. How about now? Still me. That was the problem at home then. I don't know. And we are back here listening to the Cleopatra Show. The time is 9:24, guys. And listen, Alex Jones caught my attention. Finally, I sparingly listen. I prefer to read some of the foolishness than anything. However, when it comes to the sound of evil, what does it sound like? Now, I asked, how many tongues does Lucifer speak in? Now, for all of you all that's going to run into the church on Sunday, ain't been there all year, I'm not judging you because that doesn't mean you don't know your word. And according to the Bible, if you know it like I do, you don't always necessarily have to worship in the structure. You don't. In fact, some of the folk that run in the structure ought not be there because they are a part of the reason why folk ain't in the structure because of their spirit. Yet and still, Alex Jones said the Republicans need to cut the bait. Let Trump go. He's in a free-for-all. And in fact, he said that he hopes that the Holy Spirit touches his heart because he's evil. Now, if a conservative right-wing conspiracy theorist that identifies as MAGA in his Caucasian skin and male genitalia can identify a thing, what's taking the rest of the world? Now, argumentatively, you can judge by the 8 million plus attendees at the No King protest for the round 3. And many of the most rural red states in America are saying enough. Is Alex Jones alone? Is America headed in the right direction? The phone lines are yours, 773-591-1690. Let's talk to Anthony. Anthony, talk to me. Welcome to WVON. Yes. Angel does call with me, and but here's what they're not. No, no. But here's what I'm going to say, Anthony. You want people to wipe the egg from their face, to admit they're wrong, and as I am growing, hell will freeze over for many before they do that. Even when they know that they're dead wrong. I've been in some scenarios, even recently in my life, where it's just my auntie, as she's resting, the sheer and unmitigated goal. But you know what? I believe that you gonna have to eat that in some form, some way in life. And here's what I would say: I can't speak to Brother Patel. Patel don't call no more. And I love that he calls. I love that he calls Matt because I may hear it sparingly. But the point is, I think there's so many folk that voted for Trump were hurt anyway, and hurt people hurt people. That's what I know. Well, I got to leave it there, Anthony. I'm up against a heartbreak, but excellent call. When we come back, guys, we're going to talk to Judge Wendell Griffen, and we're going to examine the defeat. There was a molly whopping for your ass that took place yesterday before the Supreme Court. So bad, Trump just took his ball and went home. We'll be back after this break. I don't know how to fix this. The Spend in the Black initiative kicks off again this weekend. It's where American businesses, faith leaders, lawmakers, and community members come. On the WBON Morning Show, it's where all the Paul says.
In the future, it's our chance to come back to some industry like we are doing right now and continue to invest. Some industry has already been through ups and downs, so has the Black dollar industry in Chicago. This is a $15 billion economy with 2.3 billion people. And so what we're doing is hosting 14
Hey, Titus.
to come and be a part of a $15 billion economy.
Maybe is this the Web OS TV AirPlay? Is that it? Yeah. No.
No, I should have put the like auxiliary built-in cable.
I just said MacBook Air speakers built in. Output, input. Input is MacBook Air microphone.
Yeah, so that's you talking directly into the built-in mic in the computer.
Yeah, but that's what I think my problem was when I was at home.
Yeah, when it was the microphone.
Correct. But even with, I was just gonna say that even with these adapters, sound effects, these are effects. I don't know what to do with this. Is this output or input?
Input. So what I was just hearing was basically like if you put the headphones up and put it around the computer, that's what it sounded like. It wasn't the direct feed like how it normally sounds on this Facebook Live. It just sounded like I was listening to something in my headphones.
And that's what I've been doing the first 2 days because I didn't have. I forgot everything. First 2 days, yeah. First 2 days, yeah. First 2 days.
This is our campaign
It should be.
to not only send
I don't know
humans back
why
to
it's
the
not
moon,
reading
but
though.
eventually onto the surface
It's
to
the
a
red
gateway space station that stays in orbit around the moon, but eventually to get humans on to Mars.
I got some other.
Hi, I'm Captain Charly, inviting you to join me weekdays from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. right here on WBON. I am bringing you a national perspective on all the happenings in the black community and, of course, all the politics. It's talk radio for us, by us, and this is where America
Hello, Chicagoland. This is your main man, Teal. This is Ceasefire Heart. I'm inviting all of my friends, associates, and colleagues to tune in to WVON and the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM for the Teal. This is Ceasefire Heart. This show will cover all the hottest topics, including politics, reducing gun violence, and so much more. Right here every Sunday morning from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM, WVON. Thank you.
Okay. Woo, yeah.
Let's see.
Oh yeah, that thing.
Oh, you know what? Nope.
Too small.
It ain't the right one. I need the prompts out. Well, you know. Oh yeah, it's got 5 and it's got 3. Dang. No, it's still not gonna work.
Cause I got the. That's for my microphone. That's not the right one.
No, this one got the 5.
Damn it. Yeah, they all do.
Yeah, this one needs the 3. No, see, no, I have a 3 adapter. No.
Oh, that's what I bought. Another one
I don't know
of these.
what's in doing it.
You think I should switch this? You think it might be?
Yeah, we can try that.
Okay. No, I don't think that's that either. No. Good morning.
This is our campaign to not only send
Ready?
back, but eventually
Hey, good morning. We are back on the Cleopatra Show. The time is 9:39. And listen, guys, he's a friend of the show and his expertise is impeccable. And before we bring up our esteemed guests, I just wanted to make sure you all didn't miss the beat. Alex Jones, a devoted MAGA enthusiast. He's steeped into the vessel of conservatism with a right wing sprinkle, is cutting the bait on Trump, throwing him to the wolves, declaring that the Republicans ought to do the same because something's wrong with that brain. He's bumbling. He sounds senile. He sounds evil. The man says that he hoped that the Holy Spirit touches his heart. Now, if an enthusiast that is of the male persuasion, steeped in Caucasian, can identify that way, what's wrong with the rest of us? Especially the us that supported this. Now, for those that missed the address to the nation last night, 18 minutes and 48 seconds was robbed from our lives across the airwaves. I didn't learn anything new, but I did hear some identifiers. And I am going to talk that to and through with Judge Wendell Griffen, who also won his election, if I heard correctly. You've been seated, or will be, again. So talk to us, Judge Griffen. Welcome back to the Cleopatra Show. I am in blessed spirits because I've been touched by the Holy Spirit, and Alex Jones didn't have to declare that for me. I'm trying to tell you. So, yeah, I mean, it was just foolishness all around yesterday. So, for those that watched Trump before they went to sleep, I don't know if they rested well. And then I enjoyed, listening to the performance, the theatrics from his attorney, just stumble and bumble before the Supreme Court justices. I enjoyed that thoroughly. So I got to get your take on a few things. So wherever you would like to start, Judge. And let me ask you this, Judge, and I appreciate your in-depth. When you say he went to his house, are you saying 1600 Pennsylvania? If I may, I thought that's what you said. That's not his house, right? That's the people's house. He live in public housing. Let me make it plain. It's so public that They have struck down the fact that he thought he can decorate it without the approval, like any other public housing recipient of the people that own the structure, and who is the caretaker of the structure necessarily is the body of Congress. Correct. The people own that house. He lived, like I said, you write this in your next article. Tell them what I said. He lived in public house. It's just a souped up public housing that our ancestors built. That's exactly what it is. And that is a violation for most tenants that occupy spaces they don't own. So now, I'm trying to tell you, like, mess around with these people in these Section 8s and vouchers, and you get to decorating and hanging up stuff and you ain't got said approval. Oh, yeah. You're going to have to answer to the people that actually own the structure. Trump lived in public housing like any other president that has lived at 1600 Pennsylvania. That's exactly right. Well, I mean, technically, our stuff is out on the street because I don't. Last time I checked, he took it to the toilet with him. He stole some of that. Every time they come in there, things is missing. Uh, Paintings done walked out the back in the basement at Mar-a-Lago because he has immunity. Judge, now I'm gonna make it plain. He said he can do what he want. I'm trying to tell you. You know what my shirt says, Judge? It says, if you think it can't be done, just ask a Black woman. And when we asked the Black woman, and she said what she said, everything she said has been predicted to the T of where we're at today. And you know who that Black woman is? She was the first vice president of these United States. And for Black people that allowed this orange agent to get in their head in terms of what kind of Black, the African diaspora Black. The Black that just don't crack. Can't come back from that. Black is everything and anything that is a color on this earth. And they can't get away from that. It's just the truth. So with that being said, what we're bearing witness to, the fact that he insistently wanted to make history to be the first president to walk into the steam halls of the Supreme Court was audacious within itself, because he was there to check, to inspect what he expected. And he expected those that he sent to obey him. And the first to dissent against him was Justice Brett Kavanaugh, and then Amy Coney Barrett, and then the rest of them, because they could not support his argument. So what do you say to Coney Barrett? Mm. Mm. Well, hold that thought. We are discussing with Judge Wendell Griffen the Supreme Court's activity because he's right. An opinion has not been published, but the sentiment was of rebuke all day. So much so, Trump took his ball and went home. Now, in the chat, they're saying, he left his balls and went home, but and maybe the squirrel came by and threw some nuts somewhere. I don't know. But Reginald Lane, he's saying, listen, the MAGA movement is in denial about number 47. They don't give a damn who they put in office as long as it's not a Democrat. Enough said. When we come back, we're going to continue this discussion because after Trump went and pulled up to the People's House, he went on another tyrant from Truth Social and beyond before the Globe. Did you catch the nation's address? And was 18 minutes and 48 seconds of your life stolen like mine? No, because I was multitasking. We'll be back.
Call 800-478-6430 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-478-6430. That's 800-478-6430. What do you have to lose? Call 800-478-6430. Again, 800-478-6430.
Hi, I'm attorney Ernesto Borges. I'd like to invite you to join me for the Borges Report for lively discussions about legal matters, politics, government, entertainment, and the topics that concern you in your life. Start your Sunday the Borges way with the Borges Report.
The Borges Report with Ernesto Borges, Sunday mornings at 9 on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
WVON traffic and weather now.
No major changes in your travel times, just a few incidents you'll need to know about. As you travel inbound along the Ryan right now, you do want to look out for an accident. It's blocking the left shoulder at 79th Street. On the outbound side of the Bishop Ford, that scheduled road work is happening between 130th and 159th. And on the inbound side, the Eisenhower still in play is that jackknife semi just on the entrance ramp from Manheim Road. Taking a look at our weather, we're seeing periods of rain throughout the morning. The National Weather Service says temperatures are going to climb near 70 as the National Weather Service tracks severe storms that could be headed our way later today. Currently, it's 43 degrees at Midway, 43 in Morgan Park, and 43 here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And now back to the Cleopatra Show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And we are back. The time is 9:55. You're listening to the Cleopatra Show. Judge Wendell Griffen is with us. Now, Judge Griffen, you write some explosive pieces and you call things all the time. And I get to follow and keep up with your work, and I appreciate it if I haven't had an opportunity to tell you that.
Thank you.
And with that being said, I have to get your take on the 18 minutes and 48 seconds that was stolen from the world. Because oftentimes I think when we hear the address to the nation, he is truly speaking to the globe. And I say that because his actions in this unconstitutional, unsanctioned war by Congress and the acts thereof has had global ramifications. And for those that do not understand what I mean, let's look at this from a commerce standpoint in terms of oil, gas, oil particularly, because Hormuz is extremely vital and cataclysmic for those that are dependent. And he specified that in his speech as best as he could in terms of the pain that he knows that he's inflicting upon others. But yet gas is on average $4.09, but tiptoeing to $5. And because of his speech, the stock market dipped tremendously. It did not go up. It precipitated downward as a result of him not stepping off the gas, all pun intended. So I have to get your take on what you saw, because I played a clip of Alex Jones' commentary, and he said that Republicans need to cut the bait.
It's too late for them to cut the bait because they have swallowed the fish. And so they are complicit in what's going on. I want to say that last night will become the most famous 18 minutes, 48 seconds of presidential history, second to the 18 and a half minute gap in the Nixon Watergate tapes. You're too young to remember that, but Nixon had an 18-minute gap in the Watergate tapes when he was talking with Bob Haldeman about the Watergate break-in. But this time we don't have a break in the tape. We have 18 minutes and 48 seconds, more time actually, of actual incriminating nonsense. It's incriminating because the man actually last night admitted his intent to commit war crimes.
Correct.
He admitted his intent to do carpet bombing of a civilian population.
Correct.
He admitted his intent to destroy human systems that are necessary for survival. He did it to the world.
Correct.
And he said he was going to do it. This was not an off-the-cuff hot mic expression. This is something that he said after he told the world he was going to announce something to the world last night. So there is no excuse for anybody saying, oh my goodness gracious, he was in a weak moment. This is Trump being his sociopathic self.
All things true. I have to get you back to expound upon that because you're right. And for those that are trying to keep up, that was pretty much the display that Bad Bunny talked about and displayed for the world at the Super Bowl. When you
Right.
cut the electricity and when you control essentially the weather, the cruelty thereof, the impact, he's pretty much laughing at the evisceration. But in hindsight, Lawrence O'Donnell had the Professor Lawrence of law. He's practiced 54 years. I find him to be very fascinating. And he said essentially, by saying and acting and doing all of these unconstitutional actions, only put somebody that was more hardcore and right leaning and younger in office. So to be braggadocious about this regime change from what was an 86-year-old debilitating man to a 50 something plus a vibrant man who is even more wicked was not smart.
No, Professor Lawrence Tribe is right. Lawrence Tribe is, as you mentioned, a very erudite scholar. I will add one other thing. You correctly mentioned the fuel, the gasoline prices, but let's remember that everything that goes to the Strait of Hormuz is going to be affected, to include fertilizer. Now, what does that matter? Farmers who have to use fertilizer for their crops around the world are going to be affected. We know the price of gas is going up. It's going up over $1 a gallon in the last 6 weeks, okay? And so now the price of fertilizer will go up. So the farmers who are having to spend more money for their fuel, for their tractors, are going to spend more money for the fertilizer or not be able to get the fertilizer to plant the crops. And so everybody is going to be hurting. The dumbest student in economics will tell you that this is a prescription for a depression.
Well, we got to soon because I want to expound upon that. Man, hopefully you'll have a Judge Wendell Griffen, all the way out of Arkansas. You want to keep up with him and his work? Just Google him. It's very powerful. When we return, I'll take your calls and more. 773-591-1690. I am looking to know, what does the sound of evil mean to you, and what does it sound like to you? We'll be back.
Periods of rain as temperatures climb near 70 on this Thursday, April 2nd, 2026. I'm Annette Flournoy, and in the headlines. This weekend, 75th Street near King Drive will be transformed into a thriving Black business district for shoppers. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson says the city is investing $300 million in affordable housing. And an 8-year-old girl is recovering this morning after being shot in the foot at a busy shopping center in Bronzeville. National news from the Black Information Network is next on the iHeartRadio app and WVON 1690 AM, Berwyn, Chicago. It's 10:02.
Here's VIN News Now. Texas is cracking down on SNAP fraud as it moves to ban sugary sodas and candy. Agricultural Secretary Brooke Rollins says states must cut error rates below 6% by next year.
You have so much rampant fraud in a program that 42 million Americans participate in.
She warns that the risk could cost taxpayers up to $773 million. A missing Black mother from Los Angeles has been found living inside a storm drain. Family members identified 43-year-old Jamila Robinson and is now urging authorities to intervene, citing ongoing mental health and drug addiction struggles. And veteran filmmaker Bill Duke will direct an estate-approved biopic on comedy legend Red Fox. The film, titled Seeing Red, will explore Fox's groundbreaking career and legacy. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. Here's more with Terry McCready.
3, 2, 1. Booster ignition. And liftoff. The crew of Artemis 2 now bound for the moon. Humanity's next great voyage begins.
NASA launching Artemis 2 for its historic trip around the moon. Victor Glover making history as the first Black person to travel to the moon as the pilot. President Trump congratulating NASA for a successful launch.
They are on the way, and God bless them. These are brave people. We want to God bless those four unbelievable astronauts.
The massive SLS rocket and Orion spacecraft launched from Florida's Kennedy Space Center yesterday with 4 astronauts on board. This is the first crewed mission to the moon since 1972. Artemis 2 is on a 10-day test flight that will take the astronauts around the moon and back to Earth. President Trump says the rise in gas prices is the fault of Iran.
Many Americans have been concerned to see the recent rise in gasoline prices here at home. The short-term increase has been entirely the result of the Iranian regime launching deranged terror attacks against commercial oil tankers in neighboring countries that have nothing to do with the conflict.
Trump giving a primetime address last night where he went on to say that gas prices will rapidly come back down while stock prices will rapidly go back up. Trump said that once the conflict ends, the Strait of Hormuz will open naturally. He says America has plenty of fuel. All right, disappointment over Chile, and now Big Boy fans are fuming after the rapper seemingly showed his support for the MAGA movement. His followers were seething after it was disclosed the 51-year-old artist apparently follows President Trump on Instagram. Some former fans are boycotting his music. Big Boy, whose real name is Antoine Andre Patton, shot to stardom as one half of the iconic hip-hop duo Outkast and has since enjoyed a successful solo career. April marks National Distracted Driving Awareness Month. Los Angeles police officers stepping up enforcement of California's hands-free law, which bans holding a phone while driving. The LAPD says even a few seconds of distraction can be deadly, and those distractions include using the in-dash touchscreen, adjusting the radio, or eating. They say put the phone away and plan ahead by setting GPS devices before driving. In 2023, 158 people were killed in distracted driving crashes statewide, which is a nearly 7% increase from the year before. South African soldiers on the move in Cape Town, where gang violence is escalating. 2 men were killed yesterday, and at least 1 person was wounded in renewed violence nearly 50 days after the president ordered the deployment. Troops in full combat gear carrying assault rifles emerging from armored vehicles in the Cape Flats. Residents say shootings occur round the clock, even as children are on their way to school or returning home. The Cape Flats saw one of its deadliest weeks last August when police recorded nearly 60 murders in 7 days. Stay informed, stay connected, and subscribe. Follow VIN News this hour wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Terry McCready for the Black Information Network.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber. Connected to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
Tuned in to your favorite WVON personalities on Facebook Live? Don't just watch, like it, love it, share it. Every click helps us grow the conversation and keep the community strong. So remember, like it, love it, share it, Chicago.
It's time to focus with Robert McKay. Quality conversation, protecting, preserving, and preparing our past, present, and future. Sunday evenings at 4 p.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON. Maria Pappas with Black Houses Matter.
We're up to way over 400 million here. Yeah, giving money's back. How about that? People in Bellwood got 10 million, Broadview 6 million, Burnham 3 million, South Holland 17 million. The city of Chicago's up to $190 million that we have given back to African Americans. Who does that? Nobody does that but WVON.
Cook County Treasurer Maria Pappas with Black Houses Matter, Monday mornings at 11:30 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This report is brought to you by the Hartford Auto Insurance. Wait until you hear this. You could save hundreds by switching to AARP Auto Insurance from the Hartford. Visit trusthartford.com. The Hartford, your protection is their passion. The Hartford Insurance Group, Inc. pays royalty fees to AARP for the use of its intellectual property. AARP and its affiliates are non-insurers. Savings vary.
WVON traffic and weather now.
New this traffic break, we're tracking what's happening along DuSable Lakeshore Drive right now southbound between Roosevelt Road and 18th. There is an accident causing some delays. Taking a look at your weather, we're seeing some periods of rain this morning. The National Weather Service tracking severe conditions that could be headed our way. That will include some high winds and a possible tornado in outlying areas. Temperatures today climbing near 70. We're at 43 at O'Hare, 43 in Morgan Park, and 43 here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Live from the Xfinity Studios at WVON, it's the Cleopatra Show on Chicago's Essential Storyteller, 1690 WVON.
And we are back on the Cleopatra Show. The time is 10:10. And listen, guys, we've been having a discussion. And I'm curious, did you give any credence to the state of address from your president, Donald John Trump? And I meant what I said, 18 minutes and 48 seconds. I refused to go to sleep listening to Trump. And I was so surprised. Sonny and I were going back and forth. And I knew I had to watch it. So I indulged him this morning as I was multitasking. But however, I chose Lawrence over Donald. It was easy for me. But with that being said, I also chose peace just for a moment. Because sometimes I can allow that to play in my head and then lose the little sleep I'm allowed by my 4-month-old. Soon to be 5 months. So as I'm thinking, it came to me. I replayed Alex Jones for us this morning because Anthony is right. How many ways can I publicly say I was wrong? Now, Alex didn't outright say it, but what he said is what they do. And who is they? What I heard from Trump was colonizing language, but it was of cruelty, and that's what Judge Griffen was saying. The crimes against humanity, right? The war crimes to impact lives, civilian lives that are completely and utterly innocent. We're seeing that in real time, Ukraine and Palestine, the Gaza Strip, so on and so forth. And now the heat is to Iran. And with that being said, what am I leaning towards? When you start talking about impacting the power grid and so on and so forth, you're essentially kill them all. Because how do you survive that? You can't. It's just impossible. With that being said, it dawned on me as I merged the two, Alex Jones and Trump. Alex Jones is saying, he hopes that the Holy Spirit touches his heart because he's evil. Now, if he can identify evil, what did he hear? So that's what made me ask the question, what is the sound of evil? And then for those that knew, how many languages does Lucifer speak? You have to really know the word. So then I saw somebody responded to, my statement about Passover, Resurrection Day, Easter, whatever the Sunday means to you, whatever it is, beyond the holiday you get for Good Friday, if it means anything to you, why now? Trump didn't just start talking like this. He didn't. Like he said, Alex Jones said he's babbling. That's he's linking it to signs of dementia, like his father had. He said he's gone. He said his brain is gone. So if he can say it and be honest about it, what's up, y'all? The world has been saying it. You know, bottom line, he's 80. Like he started off, he said the ankle swelling 3 times is a key indicator. His heart. He's not healthy. He's not well. So we're looking at physical attributes and verbal and actions that are a key indicator that he is not doing well. So who's not being honest? Should MAGA cut the bait? Judge Griffen said it's too late. They swallowed the fish. I don't think that they had it in them to do it anyway because they don't have the upper hand. This is the Trump party. The GOP has been dead. It's not live and it's not well. It virtually doesn't exist. It's gone. You know, now the purge of a Marjorie Taylor Greene, but then the approval of the other nutcase that just led into the defense camp is insane. Pete Hegseth, the list goes on and on and on. So it's a bunch of wild boars running the country. And the rumors are swirling that he's about to give Pam Bondi the boot, even though she's living rent-free on the base, because her life is in jeopardy. This is madness. So I'm asking you all, which direction is America heading? Because I'm not going to ask you, is it on the right track? Because eventually, if you're on a track, you're headed somewhere. And I never really liked that question. To be on a track, you are in the direction where. So I'm going to skip past forward the part of the question I don't like and evolve it to which direction is America heading? Now, I've been thinking about my predecessor a lot this week. If she was here, she would say we were going to hell in a handbasket. I rebuke that. I think some have voluntarily said, you know what, skip it. I'm a party like I'm a rock star because I know I'm going to hell. And then the others are saying, hey, you by yourself, Jesus saves, and every day is a new day. Amen. So which direction are we headed? And it could be political, right? It could be a world where the Democrats reign and rule. I don't even think that's real either, because we're the fractured party. We're fractured. I think that there's a world where it's going to be a trifecta of leadership, and independency is growing at an alarming rate that neither the GOP nor the Democratic Party can get a lid on. They can't control it because there's a strong population that is very dissatisfied with both parties. It's undeniable. So I'm curious to know what you say. 773-591-1690. Let's talk to Cliff. Cliff, talk to me. Welcome to WVON.
Grand Rising, Sister Cleopatra. Thank you so much for taking my call. Hey, listen, I just got to get a confession. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm eating something, but every time he comes on, it has to do with speech, I'm on the toilet. And I can't get off. But anyway, I digress. But listen, the issue that I brought up before, and I think it's coming out. And you got Candace Owens that used to be a Trump loyalist, and then you had Marjorie Taylor Greene, and then you had the other dude, the crazy one, Tucker Carlson, whatever. You know, and you know what? Charlie Kirk, he started to inquire because he claimed to be a Christian. But I think it is from a spiritual standpoint, you know, Sister Cleopatra, I got to go back to those Epstein/Trump files. You know, and I keep saying it, that is a revelation of some wicked, satanic ritual practices. And people are starting to see this. You're dealing with kids. You know, young children are being sacrificed. So I'll just leave it there. You know, but I think people are starting to see it. If you call yourself a Christian, and people cannot accept and embrace this whole pack and the names that are on that Epstein file. And that's why I get upset from individuals that still support Trump regardless of that.
No, excellent points.
Thank you.
Excellent points. There is a trail of tears. And, speaking of Charlie Kirk, some folk didn't live to see it all the way through. But there are some rumors associated with that. Bottom line is, for what it's worth, his address to the country has been spliced. You don't have to exhaust all 18 minutes and 48 seconds like I did with my life. However, for what it's worth, I can't help but to hear Alex Jones. And again, he said, I hope that the Holy Spirit touches his heart because he's evil. If a true MAGA at his core, who has confessed his love and brought in others under the fold, reached others like Cliff is saying, Tucker Carlson, I'm acknowledging Joe Rogan. I mean, these cats have millions and millions of followers. Their fan base is out of this world. If they can digress and say, you know what, we got this wrong. I am trying to appeal to those that cannot understand the value of their vote. I'm trying to understand to those that think it's funny to see a Trump and how he's going to hurt the Democrats. No, fool. Everything Trump does is hurting all of us. So for anybody that's saying Trump don't impact me, you're lying. See, and I've lived to be of this big old age where I ain't cussing. My mother would say, oh, that's a cuss word. It's a story. No. You're lying. You're lying to yourself. You're lying to others. And you're lying to the world. Because deep down inside, you're hurt. And hurt people hurt people. And the only people that are skating out to the sunset, if they can get away with it, is the Trump family. And that's if they can get away with it. When we return, Pay on Mike, I see you on the live line. And we'll be back after this break.
More from Cleopatra coming up next on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This Saturday, April 4th, Faith Meets Finance on the South Side. Spend in the Black is back, an all-day family-powered economic activation led by the Chatham Business Association, Salem Baptist Church's Pastor Charles Dates, and 6th Ward Alderman Will Hall. Beginning at 10 a.m. on 75th and King Drive, more than 100 Black-owned businesses will line the streets, serving up everything from soul food to style, from handmade goods to health and beauty. And WVON's own Matt McGill would broadcast live from 10 a.m. until noon, and again from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Last year, hundreds showed up and nearly $1 million circulated through just 3 blocks. This year, we go bigger and bolder. This is what economic empowerment looks like in real time. So don't just talk about community, invest in it. Build it. Spend in the Black. That's Saturday, April 4th at 10 a.m. on 75th and King Drive. It's more than a moment. It's a movement. Go to www.cbaworks.org and search for Chatham Bucks to buy Black every day.
It's Gospel with Pam Morris Walton, your gospel sister, on WVON Sundays, 11 to 2 p.m. Music to help you on your journey. I'll see you there, WVON.
In what way?
This spring, August Wilson's Ma Rainey's Black Bottom comes to the Goodman. It's 1927 Chicago. Ma Rainey, the mother of the blues, and her band are recording an album, but tensions build to one of the most heart-stopping endings in theater. Ife Butler stars, with Chuck Smith and Harry J. Lennox directing the play called A Genuine American Masterpiece. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom starts March 28th. Tickets at goodmantheater.org.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-478-6430 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-478-6430. That's 800-478-6430. What do you have to lose? Call 800-478-6430. Again, 800-478-6430.
The movement for repair is growing, from city halls to parliaments and around the world, from Chicago to Cape Town, from Evanston to the UN. I'm Robin Rusin.
And I'm Cam Howard. Together we're bringing you Reparations Now, where we talk power, policy, and progress, local, national, and international.
It's about justice.
It's about repair. It's about time.
Reparations now, because justice cannot wait.
Reparations Now, Saturdays at 4 p.m. only on WVON 1690.
WVON, traffic and weather now.
Right now, we're tracking a new accident on the inbound side of the Eisenhower. This crash right now is near the not affecting your travel time. City is off to the side. Right now, we're looking at periods of rain in the city under gray skies. The National Weather Service says we're headed to a daytime high near 70 degrees. Still 43 at O'Hare. It's 43 in Morgan Park and 43 here at the Talk of Chicago. That's the look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And now back to the Cleopatra Show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
I'm mad. Got to get back.
And we are back. You're listening to the Cleopatra Show. The time is 10:25, and we've been having the conversation. What is the sound of evil? Alex Jones was on my brain. Right-wing, conservative, MAGA is saying, cut the bait. Let Trump go. He ain't there no more, y'all. He gone. He gone. So if they can say it, they being those that are encrusted, what's up, America? And I'm specifically talking to Black America. Now, with that being said, it was 80-20. So I'm not saying the vast majority of Black folks voted for Trump. That is the furthest from the truth. Their goal was only to achieve 20%, but they did that. And many of them were Black men. And I'm acknowledging hurt people hurt people. And Black men have been abused in this country. And that is the truth, the God's honest truth. But those that voted to say, I'm voting for Trump to spite the Democrats, that argument was just foolish to me, right? Because he doesn't see nor value you. In fact, seeing you makes him want to hunt you. You better ask the brothers that were a part of that Central Park fiasco. They were abused and tortured. And to this day, he refuses to apologize. They've had to sue him because he insisted on hunting them. Now, I'm going to the phone line, 773-591-1690. The question of the day is very simple. Which direction is America heading? Let's talk to Pam. Pam, talk to me. Welcome to WVON.
Good morning, Cleopatra, and happy anniversary to WVON. Very much loved. This is our really source of information where we can speak truth, fact, and just get real information from our perspective. The world, fascism. Can you say it in one word, fascism?
I can. And how fast can you say fascism?
Right. I mean, that's where we are, and it's going to be hell trying to get out of it. And it was very easy to get in it. But let me just keep in mind, even with Alex Jones, because many people, Cleopatra, they were okay with the hate, the racism, the anti-DEI. It's only that when we, and of course the otherism, hate immigrants, hate trans people, hate gay people, hate everybody else. But the line was drawn when we went to war because he promised no more wars. They were even okay with him being a pedophile, best friend of a rapist, having raped and sexually assaulted women. We discovered that during the first term, and there were people who supported him. So they were okay with all of that, but it's just the war. And now that their gas prices, food prices, farmers aren't getting fertilizer. And by the way, black farmers are in jeopardy of losing their land. So I just want us to keep it in mind. So we're in fascism. The hate, the racism is still there. It's going to always be there. And you're right. VP Harris warned us.
Yes, she
This
did.
very thing. And the world, this country would be a much different place had she been in office today.
Well, I'm going to take some more calls. Excellent call. Let's talk to Israel. Israel, talk to me. And Israel, you are identifying as a Trump supporter? I'm sorry?
I'm a Trump stir. I don't know about a Trump supporter, but you can call me what you want. Just don't.
No. It said that on the screen. I didn't know this was King Israel. Okay, so Trump stir. Okay.
I'm glad you said that. No, I'm glad you said that. No way. Whoever answered the phone didn't even ask me my damn name. And every time I call you, I get some damn no caller ID. But I ain't gonna worry about it. Whoever the coward is keep calling me, I give out my number publicly. They ain't gotta call me with no caller ID. But anyway, I ain't said nothing about no damn Trump support. I called because you said black men hurt black men or black men hurt.
Okay.
Yeah, we was hurting during that situation. You know America hurt the black man, let alone the black woman. So I was just trying something new because the Democratic Party tricked my mother for 30, 40 years. Started her to death, started my uncles and everybody to death. So I was just trying something new. Like I said, go check my voting record. I was in Wisconsin. I couldn't vote for Trump. So I'm so sick of these people. So go get somebody, a black man that did pull the ballot for him. I did in 2016, but this time around, I vote with nobody. Because ain't neither one of them parties worth SHIT.
Okay, Israel. I appreciate every time you call, and I thank you for listening.
I know you do, and I appreciate you took my call so quick. But whoever put that Johnson for they'll junk on there, whoever answered the phone, need to really just sit down and have a conversation with me. If you're a black man.
Well, and we'll make sure of that. Listen, guys, when we come back, and I want you to hold tight. I have a special guest now. He's a fine artist. And I'm not just talking because I seen him on the screen. No, he literally is in fine art. And he is world renowned. And he's coming out to hang out with me. He's joining us via the phone here because he'll be in Chicago. But you've seen his work. And I have used his work because I support his work in a special way. That's right. Shout out to all of United States Postal Service workers. If you support them because you buy stamps. And this one has not only decorated a stamp, it's not just a stamp. It is rooted in Black heritage. When we come back, I have Charly Palmer, who's going to join the Cleopatra Show. You don't want to miss this.
Cloudy, wet, and 45 degrees. Good morning. I'm in Illinois, and here's what's happening. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson says the city is about to invest $300 million in affordable housing that will go mostly to the south and west sides. Perry Williams has more.
The money targets 15 developments that will create more than 1,200 housing units, and a majority of them will be affordable.
With this major investment in Chicago, one that will truly bring stability, opportunities, and hope to thousands of Chicagoans across our city.
Mayor Johnson says most of the developments will be on the south and west sides, and the projects will get underway within the next 18 months. I'm Perry Williams.
The Spend in the Black initiative kicks off again this weekend. It's where Black-owned businesses, faith leaders, lawmakers, and community members come together to promote and shop at Black businesses. On the WVON's morning show, 6th Ward Alderman William Hall says one of their goals is to restore 75th Street to a thriving Black business district for future generations.
And what we want in the future is our kids to come back to 75th Street like we are doing right now and continue to invest. 75th Street has gone through its ups and downs, so has the Black dollar in the city of Chicago. We're not a broke city. This is a $16 billion economy with 2.3 million people. And so what we're doing is hosting for 2.3 million people to come and be a part of a $16 billion economy where Black businesses have a great fair share in this.
The shopping spree kicks off this Saturday, April 4th, at 75th and King Drive. Well, Cook County Sheriff's Police are preparing to conduct roadside safety checks in Fort Heights. Come next week, Officers will stage a checkpoint near Lincoln Highway and Lexington Avenue. Officers are expected to ask motorists for their driver's license to ensure drivers are complying with Illinois license and registration requirements, as well as with the state's seatbelt and child restraint laws. They will also be on the lookout for impaired drivers. And the National Weather Service is tracking the potential for possible severe storms later today. We could see high winds and the risk for even a tornado in outlying areas. Meanwhile, the White Sox home opener is delayed one day. The team announced yesterday that the game against the Toronto Blue Jays at Wright Field has been pushed back to tomorrow due to possible severe weather in the forecast. All tickets for today's postponed home opener are good for tomorrow's contest. That's a look at our news now on 1690 WVON. Traffic and weather up next. WVON News Time, 1034.
First the president, now a presidential center. The OPC opens Juneteenth weekend in Chicago. Where will you be? We're WVON.
This Saturday, April 4th, Faith Meets Finance on the South Side. Spend in the Black is back, an all-day family-powered economic activation led by the Chatham Business Association, Salem Baptist Church's Pastor Charles Dates, and 6th Ward Alderman Will Hall. Beginning at 10 a.m. on 75th and King Drive, more than 100 Black-owned businesses will line the streets, serving up everything from soul food to style, from handmade goods to health and beauty. And WVON's own Matt McGill would broadcast live from 10 a.m. until noon, and again from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Last year, hundreds showed up, and nearly $1 million circulated through just 3 blocks. This year, we go bigger and bolder. This is what economic empowerment looks like in real time. So don't just talk about community, invest in it. Build it. Spend in the Black. That's Saturday, April 4th at 10 a.m. on 75th and King Drive. It's more than a moment. It's a movement. Go to www.cbaworks.org and search for Chatham Bucks to buy Black every day.
It's Matt McGill.
Kindred family soul. We got Asia on the line with us. What's going on, my sister?
You be talking that talk, baby. I love it.
Black people, we are in a moment.
And I love that they have voices to depend on like yours. Bravo.
Yes, you know it.
Weekdays at noon on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This report is brought to you by Dairy Queen. The only thing better than grabbing a Blizzard treat on a warm, sunny day will be snagging a second one for just 99 cents with the Blizzard Double Flip deal. It's buy one Blizzard treat, get another one for just 99 cents when you order in the DQ app. DQ. Happy tastes good for a limited time at participating U.S. locations.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Although traffic pretty light, we are seeing several incidents. You might want to slow down out there. Right now on the inbound side of the Ryan, a new crash right now is at the shoulder, on the right shoulder at Taylor Street. As you make your way along the inbound side of the Bishop 4, there is a stall right now in the right shoulder at 111 and the Eisenhower. Right now, we're still dealing with that earlier jackknife semi. It's on the entrance ramp from Manhattan Road. Taking a look at our weather, we are seeing gray skies today. The National Weather Service says temperatures are expected to climb near 70. Tonight, right back down to around 37. Right now, we're looking at 45 at O'Hare. We're up to 45 in Auburn Gresham and 45 here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And now back to the Cleopatra Show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Say oops upside your head. 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 Say oops upside your head.
And we are back on the Cleopatra Show. The time is 10:37, and I have a special subject matter, and I am so happy to present to you all this opportunity of a man that is just walking in artistry. Now, if you know anything about the show, at the core of it, I always put a cap in it: culture, arts, and politics. And here it is. I have the privilege to bring to us a world-renowned, award-winning fine artist and illustrator known for his compelling artwork that reflects African ancestry and contemporary experiences. I mean, if you like John Legend, and you've seen his work. If you're like me and you love supporting our postal workers, You may have bought his piece via a stamp. If you are a gamer, and I'm talking about NBA 2K22, you've seen his work. McDonald's, Miller Brewing Company, Coca-Cola, Vanderbilt. I mean, the list goes on and on. But if you really about that life and you support HBCUs, then he's taught before your children. And I'm looking at Spelman. We've given him back to Atlanta, but he's definitely came through Chicago to study art. And on the live line to join the Cleopatra Show is Mr. Charly Palmer. Charlie, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you. It is a pleasure being here to one of the blackest stations in the country. It's been a while since I've been away from Chicago, but VOA is still blackity black, and I love that.
Oh, I
So
love
thank you
that.
for having me.
Thank you so much for that. I mean, I am just all giddy inside because before I knew you were the person, I was like, I know his work. And look, I can afford it. I bought I bought several stamps, right? I was so proud. now I got to save my pennies, get my mind right for them bigger pieces. But you paid homage in a beautiful way. And this series that is dedicated to African heritage, Black heritage. And I'm thinking about, for those that are wondering, well, what stamp did he do? Tell us about it.
So I had the honor, thank you, of doing Constance Baker Motley, Judge Constance Baker Motley. She was, a Supreme Court judge, but she was so much more than that. She walked beside, Thurgood Marshall doing the Brown versus Board of Education, but she's a pioneer, but a powerful Black woman. And so it was an honor to do her piece.
And it's so beautiful, to be honest with you. My postal worker said, well, what book of stamps you want, Mrs. Draper? Because I come all the time. And I said, oh, that's so pretty. I want that. And, as I'm looking at your portfolio, it is wide and it is vast. So tell us, how did you identify in your gifts? Because I believe that there are some that are skills and then others that are gifts, and then you hone it because you're able to teach it. That lets me know it's a gift.
Yeah, that's a really great question. I didn't take what I was doing very seriously early on because I had a younger brother and an older brother that also drew and painted, but I stuck to it. I stuck with it. And so I think it was just through this decision to focus all my energy and love on that passion, which was art. So I to this day, I tell children when I speak to them, it's like, find something that you enjoy doing and you'll never have to work a day in your life. It doesn't mean that this journey isn't challenging, but I'm doing what I love doing and people pay me for it. So it's a blessing to be here.
And I think that was a word, right? I appreciate you sharing that, because I meet big old grown folk that don't understand what it means to work, because I think that they think that that's something you have to do to eat. No, I believe in what you're saying is your passion is what's driving you, and ebbs and flows come with everything.
Yeah,
But for you to be on the cover of John Legend in that way teaches us, well, how the sausage is made, from rooter to tutor, from the inside to the outside of the cover, is a way that you are incorporated in all things that are part of matter, like physical attributes that consolate a thing. And too often I feel as though in Black America, we only scratch the surface of how the sausage is made. So, from an arts perspective, give us another part of that broad stroke of where you are showing up and showing out.
So I'm going to steal a quote that I heard last summer, and it's like, ooh, it just resonated. Success is on the other side of hard, right? And I think the young people don't really understand it as much. And this is me sounding like an elder. The work it takes to get there. Like, everybody wants this instant gratification, but I have been working at this thing. Like Malcolm Gladwell talks about 10,000 hours. I have put 100,000 hours into this thing that I do because I love it. I love it. Like, I'm sitting in my studio right now with about 5 paintings in progress, but I'm loving it because I'm excited to see what it's going to look like at the end. But it's taken me a long time to kind of get to this point where everybody's coming to me and asking me for, like, dream assignments. But, I just acknowledged it. It was like a mother that said, I believe in you. and I'm going to do everything I can to help you succeed. And my mom taught me very much the other end of that is to give it back. And I'm in the giving back part of my life right now.
And how does that make you feel?
To give back?
Yes.
You know, and you know what? I honestly, like, my legacy won't be the work I do. The legacy is the people I touched along the journey, and then what they will do to hopefully do the same thing to someone else. So it feels like natural to me, and it's a joy.
You know, what you said, and I appreciate knowing that, you know, I have three little boys, and I want them to experience Black boy joy. And it means so much to hear a Black man speak of joy. Prior to you coming on, I was talking about Black men that have been robbed of it. And you found a way to carve out your own iteration of it in a world that is, from some lens, in tatters. But it depends on where you stand in that moment in time. So I appreciate you being juxtaposed to the opposite of unhappy is to be happy, right? To be robbed of it and to have it. The fact that you found it and you ain't giving it back is the epitome of where I want my sons to be. Amen.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. See, I love Black children. I love them, and I live for them, and I want to like one of the things that I do a lot of children books, and you know, again, if that's my legacy when I'm no longer on this earth, I'm happy with that because I've been being very intentional about telling Black children that they're beautiful, they're brilliant, they have challenges as we all do, but on the other side of that is joy, and don't give up. And so those kinds of messages, and like little Black boys in particular, have been my focus because I've been one. And I know what it's like when people doubt you and when they question you or they don't give you an opportunity. And it's like, you know, so it's trying to really talk to young people and get them to understand sometimes you have to build your own table. You have to create your own situations because they're never going to give it to you.
I appreciate that. You know what? As I heard you talk about sitting in your studio and your effort, your intentionality, and knowing that you did the cover of MBK 22 is phenomenal, especially given that it was the 75th anniversary of the National Basketball Association, better known as the NBA. Of course, it made me guide to our ancestor, Kobe Bryant, which is still hard to say.
Right.
And he famously stated that he made 1,000 shots daily during his summer training sessions to prepare for the NBA. And these were not random shots. They were specific game simulated repetition designed to internalize movements, often totaling to about 1,500 attempts to reach and make that count. In other words, putting in that work. Like you talked about the 10,000 hours that you've expanded to 100,000 hours. I always tell my sister and anybody that can hear me, nothing good comes even easy. And if it does, I don't want it. I'm scared of it. Actually, at this point, I done been battle tested too far to be like, if you gonna give it to me, maybe it's the Chicago in me. I still ain't gonna take it. So talk to us about the switch to a calmer spirit. When I think of Atlanta, what makes me happy is the joy of seeing Black folk gainfully working. Now, what makes me crazy is every street is peach something, so I don't know how to navigate it. However, that's the only thing that makes me crazy. But you have nestled there for some reason. What was the gravitational pull of Atlanta for you?
Oh, that's such a great question too. It's like, see, I'm a kid.
I'm on a roll, ain't I?
Yeah. See, I grew up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Okay.
And when I finished high school, I went to Chicago and fell in love with Chicago. Went to school there, went to the first the Art Institute of Chicago, and then transferred to the American Academy of Art because I knew I wanted to be an artist. But I stayed in Chicago for several years before I made that move to Atlanta. But I saw the opportunities here, right? Like especially, I loved sports when I was young, but I wasn't a supreme athlete. I was an average athlete. But when I heard the Olympics was coming here to Atlanta, I'm like, I got to be here for that. And I say sometimes that ignorance is bliss because I'm like, I'm going to get down there, I'm going to get me an Olympic poster, and I'm going to do all this stuff. And it was like not thinking that, wait a minute, there's hundreds of thousands of people around the world trying to get these Olympic posters. There's 100,000 people trying to get assignments here, but I believed. And because I didn't know and didn't think that far ahead, I just knew I was going to come down here and make that happen. And that was my goal. And I had the blessing of actually having the opportunity also to do an Olympic poster while I was here.
Well, the translation of that beautiful story, faith without works is dead. Listen, guys, I have a fine artist. And like I told the audience, it's not because I Googled your picture that he's fine. He does fine artistry work and is a visual artist and is rooted in the spirit of Black man joy. And then a joy to hear him speak. And you'll get to see him if you want to. We'll talk about it on the side of the break because he's coming to Chicago. And he's coming back to hang out with us. And I want to make sure that you feel invited to come to this amazing event. It's a fireside chat. And you get to get up close and personal with this beautiful spirit we're hearing and all of his works when we return. You don't want to miss this.
More from Cleopatra coming up next on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Before Hot Wins. Ooh, let's heat things up. Get fired up with Hot Wins, a new game from the Illinois Lottery. Learn how to play at IllinoisLottery.com. Be smart, play smart. Must be 18 or older to play. Game odds available at IllinoisLottery.com.
Catch Reverend Al Sharpton online at WVON.com or on the WVON app. Just click the Al Sharpton banner. Tune in every day at 12 noon for your daily dose. And if you miss it, catch the overnight replay from midnight to 3 a.m. We're keeping it real with Al Sharpton on WVON 1690.
Reverend Al told you personally, keep it real. Keep it real. Keep it real.
Friday night of premieres continues on Vaughn TV with a story that's as real as it is hilarious. This Friday, April 3rd at 7 p.m., don't miss King Boulevard, inspired by a truth many know but few talk about. Streets named after Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. that don't always reflect the dream they were meant to honor.
You live on MLK Boulevard. Yes. Something wrong? Legally, I can't ask you if you've been convicted of a crime, so I'm just going to stare at you with a look of concern. Wait, what?
Follow one young man living on MLK Boulevard who decides to change that, setting out to transform his community into something worthy of Dr. King's legacy. See King Boulevard this Friday at 7 p.m. and stay tuned for more dynamic storytelling as the Friday night of premieres continues exclusively on Vaughn TV. Watch on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV Plus, the WVON app, or at VON.TV. Vaughn TV, for the culture, by the culture. On Saturday, watch Martin Luther King Jr., Enemies of the Dream, on Vaughn TV. See how recently declassified FBI documents and historical records suggest a deeper story that ultimately silenced one of the 20th century's most powerful voices.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-478-6430 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-478-6430. That's 800-478-6430. What do you have to lose? Call 800-478-6430. Again, 800-478-6430.
Hey everybody, this is Kendall Moore, the Kendall Moore Show, getting you from your work week to your weekend each and every Friday night from 6 until 9 p.m. I get you from your work week to your weekend. Church Tabernacle.
Kendall Moore, radio for the next generation on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM, WVON.
New this break, we're monitoring what's happening on the outbound side of the Bishop Ford with that ongoing construction work happening. Traffic right now slow along the Bishop Ford outbound between 130th Street and Dalton Avenue due to road work. Also between the Steel Bridge and 159th Street. Taking a look at our weather. Gray skies today. The National Weather Service says temperatures are expected to climb near 70. although we are watching out for severe storms that could head our way much later today. Currently, it's 46 at Midway, 46 in Dalton, and 46 here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm NF Lornoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And now back to the Cleopatra Show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And we are back here listening to the Cleopatra Show. And this week, if you didn't know, the week, this is a prelude. The week coming up is going to be Art Week. And it is special. There are some corridors that are going to transform. There are a number of our museums, especially contemporary art, that are going to morph. And then here at the University Club of Chicago, they are anticipating to roll out the red carpet for the Charly Palmer. And he is on the live line with us and is expounding upon his commitment to walk boldly in his gifts of artistry. And he is sharing and teaching it to children at Spelman and throughout through his work. Now, I have had the privilege to afford his work as I support our United States Postal Service workers through purchasing stamps. And I say that lovingly because I want us to understand in efforts to keep Black folks gainfully employed, those are the things that you can do. And then in doing that thing, I hadn't even known that I was purchasing a piece of his work. So, Mr. Palmer, I want to thank you for your contributions and walking steadfast in Black excellence and sharing your Black man joy, because Black boys are listening.
I would appreciate that. I hope so, because I think it's very important that they understand that I was once them, and I am now this Black man that is reaching back to give love and to give joy to anybody who's open to it in our community.
Well, guys, if you want to know, because I know you're going to ask me, listen, there's a fireside chat with the renowned visual artist, Charly Palmer, that is taking place Tuesday, April 7th at 11:30. And it extends to 1 p.m. It's a ticketed event, so you'll check it out. I'll put the link in the chat. But yet and still, it is affordable. And it's at the University Club of Chicago. Now, I've hung out in and around there, and I think it's a fantastic opportunity. There's some amazing folk, not just only Black. There's a cultured event, but they are rolling out the carpet for Mr. Palmer because of his extensive work, but it's rooted in belief. You left off on a word. You believed in yourself enough to dive all in and chase a dream and an opportunity via the Olympics that was going to transform Atlanta. And from there on, you've catapulted in all kinds of ways. Talk to us about being drunk off belief.
Being what?
Drunk off belief. You had to be drunk off belief. You were all in. You heard me, drunk.
Okay,
I think believers have to, if you aren't going to invest in yourself, believe in yourself, who else is?
Yeah, I totally agree. It doesn't hurt to have somebody, anyone, that also believes in you. Because at times you have to ask yourself, am I crazy? Am I the only one that sees this opportunity or see what I could be or what somebody can be? And it's but there are others, I have an amazing wife that's very much about my hero, my shero, but she also is such a person that believes in me and challenges me in loving ways. And I think that's what we fortunately, hopefully get that from our parents, but we get it from our elders and we get it from other friends. But I think that becomes also important because I'll always tell young people, find your tribe, find people that know you, that believe in you, but will also challenge you honestly, but lovingly.
And you know what is funny? I was just talking to a dear friend of mine who's evolved to be a big sister. And I broke it down to constructive criticism. See, it's one thing to give criticism, but not to give it with love and to give it to a point that will help a person grow. That's not constructive. So when you say that tribe has to fill your cup, and it could be vice versa, right? We are not knowing of all and everything. So if you add like you said, build that table or build a bench, you have to build it multifaceted for for you to be well rounded, so to speak. I agree with you in all of what you're saying. And the fact that you have a shero that made you smile. So tell us about your wife and how she's shown up to support you, because behind every talented, successful black man that is rooted in joy, it has to be adjacent to a black woman.
You know what? That is something I learned the hard way. You know, it was after like my last divorce. I started talking to black couples that have been together for a long time, and what I discovered over and over again was that support that they have from one another. You know, like being that rock. You know, that wing, the wind beneath the wing, all of that kind of stuff. And my wife is one that I had to learn the hard way, that I needed someone who was brilliant, that would challenge me, but also have respect for me at the same time. And she is a pioneer and a phoenix in her own category. She's a sociologist, a Du Boisian scholar. She's won numerous awards as a professor and a writer. But at the same time, she's my friend. And my friend, when she critiques me, is in the kindest way. But I know whatever she's telling me is truth, because I'm convinced that she loves me. And that's where we're always looking for that person that's going to love you, but also challenge you a little bit.
I think that that is beautiful. I attest that to be a part of your mounting success. I wish you nothing but the best. So listen, guys, if you really want to meet Charly Palmer and you love this black man and his joy and the crown that he is wearing, he is willing to greet you too. He's hanging out at the University Club of Chicago right here Tuesday, April 7th from 11:30 to 1 with a fireside chat luncheon. And I'm inviting you all to check out this ticketed event. The link is in the chat here. I believe there's about 10 seats left. So it is very competitive. I mean, he's top tier. But one thing about it, he's drunk off belief. So I believe he'll be back. And when you come back, you're going to come and hang in studio with me. And I wish you nothing but the best.
All right, thank you. This has been a wonderful interview. I really appreciate you.
Oh, absolutely. And this won't be the last. I'm gonna speak it into existence as you ascend. Don't leave us behind. No man left.
Wait, one more thing though. Like, I want to get your information so I can send your boys some of these children books, because they're all about them. Okay?
All right. Well, hold tight. I'll make sure we talk. Listen, guys, Charly Palmer, he's thebomb.com, and it is Art Week coming up. It's a prelude, and that is what we're about here at the Cleopatra Show. You don't want to miss this. We'll be back.
Periods of rain throughout the morning. The National Weather Service says we could see heavy storms this afternoon. On this Thursday, April 2nd, 2026, I'm in Illinois. Into the headlines. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson has removed the chair of the Chicago Housing Authority Board of Commissioners. This weekend, 75th Street near King Drive will be transformed into a thriving black business district for shoppers. And the head of the now closed West Suburban Hospital in Oak Park hopes to reopen by this summer. National news from the Black Information Network is next on the iHeartRadio app and WVON 1690 AM, Berwyn, Chicago. It's 11:01.
Here's VIN News Now. Texas is cracking down on SNAP fraud as it moves to ban sugary sodas and candy. Agricultural Secretary Brooke Rollins says states must cut error rates below 6% by next year.
You have so much rampant fraud in a program that 42 million Americans participate in.
She warns that the risk could cost taxpayers up to $773 million. A missing black mother from Los Angeles has been found living inside a storm drain. Family members identified 43-year-old Jamila Robinson and are now urging authorities to intervene, citing ongoing mental health and drug addiction struggles. And veteran filmmaker Bill Duke will direct an estate-approved biopic on comedy legend Red Fox. The film, titled Seeing Red, will explore Fox's groundbreaking career and legacy. Get VIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. Here's more with Terry McCready.
3, 2, 1. Booster ignition. And liftoff. The crew of Artemis 2 now bound for the moon. Humanity's next great voyage begins.
NASA launching Artemis 2 for its historic trip around the moon. Victor Glover making history as the first black person to travel to the moon as the pilot. President Trump congratulating NASA for a successful launch.
They are on the way, and God bless them. These are brave people
We want to God bless us for unbelievable astronauts.
The massive SLS rocket and Orion spacecraft launched from Florida's Kennedy Space Center yesterday with 4 astronauts on board. This is the first crewed mission to the moon since 1972. Artemis 2 is on a 10-day test flight that will take the astronauts around the moon and back to Earth. President Trump says the rise in gas prices is the fault of Iran.
Many Americans have been concerned to see the recent rise in gasoline prices here at home. The short-term increase has been entirely the result of the Iranian regime launching deranged terror attacks against commercial oil tankers in neighboring countries that have nothing to do with the conflict.
Trump giving a primetime address last night where he went on to say that gas prices will rapidly come back down while stock prices will rapidly go back up. Trump said that once the conflict ends, the Strait of Hormuz will open naturally. He says America has plenty of fuel. All right, disappointment over Chile, and now Big Boy fans are fuming after the rapper seemingly showed his support for the MAGA movement. His followers were seething after it was disclosed the 51-year-old artist apparently follows President Trump on Instagram. Some former fans are boycotting his music. Big Boy, whose real name is Antoine Andre Patton, shot to stardom as one half of the iconic hip-hop duo Outkast and has since enjoyed a successful solo career. April marks National Distracted Driving Awareness Month. Los Angeles police officers stepping up enforcement of California's hands-free law, which bans holding a phone while driving. The LAPD says even a few seconds of distraction can be deadly, and those distractions include using the in-dash touchscreen, adjusting the radio, or eating. They say put the phone away and plan ahead by setting GPS devices before driving. In 2023, 158 people were killed in distracted driving crashes statewide, which is a nearly 7% increase from the year before. South African soldiers on the move in Cape Town, where gang violence is escalating. 2 men were killed yesterday, and at least 1 person was wounded in renewed violence nearly 50 days after the president ordered the deployment. Troops in full combat gear carrying assault rifles emerging from armored vehicles in the Cape Flats. Residents say shootings occur round the clock, even as children are on their way to school or returning home. The Cape Flats saw one of its deadliest weeks last August when police recorded nearly 60 murders in 7 days. Stay informed, stay connected, and subscribe. Follow VIN News this hour wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Terry McCready for the Black Information Network.
This Saturday, April 4th, Faith Meets Finance on the South Side. Spend in the Black is back, an all-day family-powered economic activation led by the Chatham Business Association, Salem Baptist Church's Pastor Charles Dates, and 6th Ward Alderman Will Hall. Beginning at 10 a.m. on 75th and King Drive, more than 100 Black-owned businesses will line the streets, serving up everything from soul food to style, from handmade goods to health and beauty. And WVON's own Max McGill would broadcast live from 10 a.m. until noon, and again from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Last year, hundreds showed up, and nearly $1 million circulated through just 3 blocks. This year, we go bigger and bolder. This is what economic empowerment looks like in real time. So don't just talk about community, invest in it. Build it. Spend in the Black. That's Saturday, April 4th at 10 a.m. on 75th and King Drive. It's more than a moment. It's a movement. Go to www.cbaworks.org and search for Chatham Bucks to buy Black every day.
Hi, I'm Lori Smith, host of Meeting the Moment. WVON, in partnership with the Chicago Community Trust, developed Meeting the Moment to amplify the voices of nonprofits across Chicagoland, giving them the communication tools they need to expand their reach and turn awareness into action. Right now, our communities are facing real challenges, from economic uncertainty to public safety to access and equity. But in the middle of it all, there are organizations doing the work quietly, faithfully, powerfully. With Meeting the Moment, we'll have honest conversations about the issues shaping our region and, more importantly, the solutions happening on the ground. And each week, we'll feature a Chicagoland nonprofit making a difference. You'll hear their story and find out how you can support their work, because Meeting the Moment is about more than just awareness. It's about impact. Join the Meeting the Moment movement, a program designed for the doers. For more information, visit WVON.com/meetingthemoment. Listen every Saturday at 12 noon, right here on WVON 1690, the talk of Chicago. Let's meet the moment together. Powered by the Chicago Community Trust.
This is your host and life coach, Linnell Harris, and I want you to join me every Sunday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. for Inspirational Perspective. On Inspirational Perspective, we talk life vision, life purpose, and the show is all about helping you live the best life possible. So join me as we look at supporting you in living the life you intend to live and making your life's vision a reality. Every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 a.m. WVON.
This report is brought to you by Ashley Furniture. Ready for a home refresh? Now's the season to finally make it happen. At Ashley's Spring Savings Event 72-hour sale, save up to 25% on your entire purchase with select spring styles, starting at just $4.99 and only at Ashley's.
WVON traffic and weather now. Live from the Xfinity Studios at WVON, it's the Cleopatra Show on Chicago's essential storyteller, 1690 WVON.
And we are back. The time is 11:09, and you're listening to the Cleopatra Show. And listen, guys, it's more than a moment. It's a movement. Spend in the Black is back, turning faith into economic power. And the Chatham Business Association wants you there. Saturday, April 4th, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., head to 75th and King Drive for a full day of family, faith, and Black-owned business, led by Salem Baptist Church's Pastor Dr. Charly Dates and 6th Ward Alderman Reverend Will Hall. This is where community meets commerce. And catch Matt McGill, our very own, broadcasting live from 10 a.m. to noon, then again from 2 to 4. Over 100 vendors, food, fashion, and beauty, and more. Last year, nearly $1 million poured right back into the community. Cleopatra is saying it's going to be twofold. That's right, I'm proclaiming this year we can do it again. Spend with purpose, spend with power, spend in the Black. I love it. I was hanging out in Roseland in our business district, and may God keep, cover, and protect it. You know, so once y'all done at 75th Street, I want y'all to roll right on down to Roseland, because Lord knows we need support that way. Life support. And it's a crying shame when you look at these business corridors that are in Black communities holding on by a thread. I thank God for their steadfast resilience and commitment to be a strong, vital force in the community, despite the evil barriers that they are confronted with when it comes to local economy and poor leadership. And yes, I'm identifying it as such, because when you deliberately try to suffocate out Black businesses, it is opportunities like the brainchild of the Chatham Business Association that is continuing to do a good thing, and the support of a good alder, Will Hall. And here it is, Dr. Charly Dates and his ingenuity of collaborating. That is excellent. I wish we can do it on every corridor throughout Black Chicago, because Lord knows we need it. But hold tight. Trouble don't last always. Now I'm going back to the phone line, 773-591-1690. Again, I just want to give a special shout out to Black Man Joy. I enjoyed Charlie Palmer. I know you will too. He'll be here through the week of Art Week. I had the privilege to have the prelude to introduce him to the listening audience, but he'll be at the University Club here in Chicago, April 7th at 11:30 for a fireside chat. But he has so much to give, and I hope you all will take him up on his offer, especially those that are reinventing themselves, that are artistes, or just appreciate the fine arts. Now, Mike and Mike have been so gracious with holding tight. We've had an expansive conversation. In the intro, I definitely played a clip from Alex Jones that proclaimed what I had always been saying. There's a leak in that old building, and we're talking about Trump. And he started with looking at his cankles, and the fact that they've swelled threefold says
He indicates that he has heart issues and he's unhealthy. Then he talked about his brain and is unwell. And then he went so far to say that he hopes that the Holy Spirit touches Trump because he's evil. Now, if a well-vested, crusted Caucasian of the gender persuasion of male can identify as such, MAGA and all, conservative values and all, can say a thing out loud. What's up, Black America? And like he said, he was babbling and mumbling. See now, dementia. Oh, Alex done threw everything but the kitchen sink and then had the nerve to say that they should cut the bait. But Judge Wendell Griffen said it's too late. You done swallowed the fish. Now let's talk to Mike M. Mike M., talk to me. Welcome to WVON.
Yes, thank you for having me on, and I appreciate you having Charlie Kirk, because I think he personifies what I'm about to say. And
Charlie Kirk or Charlie Palmer?
Charlie Palmer.
Okay.
Because you're saying the idea talking about for the younger ones coming in the past, behind us, and so on. And I liken it to a story which I think many people know of, where these leaders were sitting down at a table, a long table set up specially for them with great fine food. And when they sat down to eat, they couldn't eat their food all because of the flatware that was given them was too long for them to be able to pick up their food and put it in their mouth. And they had to feed the person across for them, they figured out, to be able to actually receive this food. And this is where we are in the world. The world has to learn to get along with one another and manage life, whether you like the one or not, or even hate the one or not. With everything in the world and everybody in the world is touched by oil. Stuff has to be delivered to you. Even if you're in the upper far parts of the jungle and you don't know the name of any leader, that stuff that's shipped in is touched by gasoline and oil, and the price of it is reflected in that. And so it affects those people just as well as it affects everybody else in the world. And where we are, we need to be paying attention about this and realizing to get up off your ass and get involved and speak your truth and step out there, because you pay for it. Everybody in the world pays for this. And these leaders, these politicians, hey, no, it's about the people. The people need to make their move to shape this future, because your future is going to be on the basis of what you do and what you say and how involved that you are. I'm going to leave you with this. You are a spiritual and biblical person. It states in the book of Psalms that God blesses your children and your children's children 1,000 generations. So if we want that wealth transfer in 1,000 generations, we need to start thinking about it and not being so self-centered, involved in ourselves, in our position, in our image, and where we are, to help the ones who's following and be involved in that. That's it.
Thank you so much. As always, I appreciate you listening to the show and pouring into us. Let's talk to the next Mike. Mike, talk to me. Welcome to WVON.
Good morning, Cleopatra. Excellent show.
Thank you.
Yeah, the brother Charlie Palmer, he's an inspiring brother. He reminds me something that he said, which is the absolute truth, is on the other side of hard work and success. Having been somewhat, successful in art myself as a child, this is over 60 years. Well, it was about 60 years ago. I won the Chicago Art Fair, and I had the opportunity to exhibit at one of the first Black Expos. But as he was saying, the thing, and I was a teenager, and I just couldn't see a future in art. I couldn't see how to pay the bills, so it's wonderful that he's out here conveying to our folks that, hey, this is something that you can do with artwork, with hard work and consistency. You can do this. One other thing, in terms of conspiracy theorists and people like Marjorie Taylor Greene. There's no redemption in these folks, even though they seem to change their tune recently. Trump has never espoused anything to be proud of, anything that was humanitarian, anything right, upholding the Constitution or anything. So at some level, you have to be almost as despicable as he is to support him. So I'm glad to see that his support is breaking apart. But, for folks like that, they got all they could get out of them, I guess, and they're going on.
Yes, and that is the colonizer way. That sounds about white. Good job, Mike. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Oh, man, because isn't that what they do? When you think of colonizers, they have a certain kind of stylistic talk, mannerism, and behavior, and tongue. Listen, guys, when we come back, June sale, I want you all to hang tight because I have a special announcement. They done gave me something that I look forward to giving to you in a special way. So you want to listen in with your ears and be my special caller. You don't even know what number to call. You don't even know what number I'm looking for. Because right now, when we come back, I'm looking for June and Sale to talk that talk. You don't want to miss this. We'll be back.
More from Cleopatra coming up next on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This Saturday, April 4th, Faith Meets Finance on the South Side. Spend in the Black is back, an all-day family-powered economic activation led by the Chatham Business Association, Salem Baptist Church's Pastor Charles Dates, and 6th Ward Alderman Will Hall. Beginning at 10 a.m. on 75th and King Drive, more than 100 Black-owned businesses will line the streets, serving up at WVON's own Max McGill would broadcast live from 10 a.m. until noon, and again from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Last year, hundreds showed up and nearly $1 million circulated through just 3 blocks. This year, we go bigger and bolder. This is what economic empowerment looks like in real time. So don't just talk about community, invest in it. Build it. Spend in the Black. That's Saturday, April 4th at 10 a.m. on 75th and King Drive. It's more Black every day.
It's Gospel with Pam Morris Walton, your gospel sister, on WVON Sundays, 11 to 2 p.m. Music to help you on your journey. I'll see you there, WVON.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-478-6430 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-478-6430. That's 800-478-6430. What do you have to lose? Call 800-478-6430. Again, 800-478-6430.
It's Rufus Williams. This is not the America that we thought it was. Certainly not now. And whatever pushing has to go to reverse that, I'm sure that Keith Ellison and the others there in Minneapolis are doing it, because anything that's happening anywhere can happen right here to us. And there's no reason to believe in any way, shape, or form that you can be separated from it.
Weekdays at 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON. WVON traffic and weather now.
It's rainy again, so we're seeing some slippery conditions on the outbound side of the Ryan. You do want to look out for an accident. It's blocking the left lane at 95th Street. Also, still big problems along the Eisenhower. Right now, we're seeing some major delays due to an earlier jackknife semi. Right now, the Eisenhower inbound ramp from Manheim Road is blocked off. All traffic on the ramp is forced onto northbound Manheim Road. Traffic wanting to access the inbound from northbound Manheim can do so. Taking a look at your weather right now, we're seeing some rain in our area. The National Weather Service says we'll see it happening on again, off again for the remainder of the morning. Come this afternoon, the National Weather Service says they're tracking some heavier weather conditions later. Currently, we're up to 46 degrees at O'Hare, it's 46 in West Garfield, and 46 here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic weather now. I'm Annette Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And now back to the Cleopatra Show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And we are back on the Cleopatra Show. The time is 11:24. And listen, guys, Friday night of premieres continues on Vaughn TV this Friday, April 3rd at 7 p.m. Don't miss King Boulevard, a comedy with a powerful message inspired by the reality of streets, named after Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Follow one young man on a mission to transform his community and bring new life to MLK Boulevard. With help from friends, allies, and a little humor along the way, King Boulevard debuts Friday at 7 p.m. only on Vaughn TV. Watch on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV Plus, the WVON app, and or check us out at Vaughn.tv. Sounds like it's going to be funny to me. I'm going back to the phone line, 773-591-1690. Let's talk to June. June, talk to me. Welcome to WVON.
Hey, Cleopatra, I just want to say, man, it's just a pleasure to have you on the radio. And I've been listening to you since you came on the radio. And Chicago needs you. We need you up in Massachusetts, by way of Chicago. But what I was trying to tell the guy who answered the phone is sometimes we have to stop worrying so much. And I said, everything that we do as Black people with this Donald Trump thing and this other stuff, it's like we're putting ourselves in a paper bag and we're cut up with so many ideas written on these papers that we end up just sticking our hand inside the bag and coming out with something. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And whatever it is, if two people don't agree with it, the other person is wrong. Now, let me just say this. I agree with, and not only me, probably you in your privacy, that some things that this man has did is good stuff. And a lot of things that this man has done is bad stuff. But when we lay down at night, we have to make sure that our kids and our grandkids are spoken for. So when we're just thinking about us, because we're up in age, we have to understand this is not about us no longer. It's about the kids that's coming behind you. So no matter what we argue about, like right now, it really doesn't have a precedence for the kids coming up tomorrow. And like I was explaining to my man who answered the phone, and I appreciate him because I must have been babbling, and he still hung in there with me. I don't know if he had me on hold or not. All I know is when I finished talking, he was still there. Now, all I'm really talking about is a lot of stuff that this man spews out of his mouth, whether you want to believe it or not. And I'm going to give you a comparison of that. That doesn't make him wrong. A lot of times, he's right. Because I remember my dad explaining stuff to me when I was young in a manner that came from him that was to make me afraid, but to make me understand at the same time. And a lot of times the people out here, not all of us, because we're not one group. We're not one group. We don't agree with everything. So it makes us turn against each other. And a lot of people must understand till this day, a lot of people didn't vote. And that's the bad thing about this thing. They have people that they didn't believe in on either side, that they didn't even vote. But whoever the winner was, guess what they did? They voted for that person. So when we're out here and we're calling bad names, make sure we're getting something out of there to make us make that choice. Again, I don't need a leader. I need a representative. I need somebody that I agree with that's really fighting the fight. And coming out of Chicago when we was housing, and I'm still a good stepper, because I'm from that west side, we grew up with this. We grew up with the Mayor Daley stuff. A lot of people talk about Daley and his son. I'm not too familiar with Daley's son because I was out of there. Because I couldn't find a job, and the job that I found was out in Skokie, Illinois, and I had to take all this transportation to go across. When I got my check at the end, I didn't have no money.
Well, June, I definitely hear your points. I definitely want to make sure I take the next call. I thank you for listening. I thank you for raising something that, folks need to chew on. Is there some moments that you agree with Trump? I was listening very intently to Morning Joe, and it was hard because Joe was picking apart what he agreed about with what Trump said last night. And I think at the front end of my brain, because it's an unconstitutional, unsanctioned war that he created, that he said he will stop when he feel it in his bones, I can't take, even if there is a slither of truth in what he's saying, I can't take it serious and or pick it apart because it started wrong. And now that I've grown to the point of where I'm at, how it started is how it ends. I need us to let that marinate. How it started, how it ends. Listen, guys, I am going to take a quick break. I have a special in studio guest, but I'm also going to endure her because I have something to bless you all with. Sale, when we come back, I'm going to take your call at the top. So you don't have to go nowhere. I'm not telling you to scoop. But I want you all to hold tight because it's something special happening. And I just adore her. I adore her spirit and I adore her commitment. So she's going to come in studio and hang out with me. She's such a beauty. You don't want to miss this. We'll be back.
Cloudy, wet, and 48 degrees. I'm in Illinois, and here's what's happening. The Spend in the Black initiative kicks off again this weekend. It's where Black-owned businesses, faith leaders, lawmakers, and community members come together to promote and shop at Black businesses. On the WVON's morning show, 6th Ward Alderman Will Hall says one of their goals is to restore 75th Street to a thriving Black business district for future generations.
And what we want in the future is our kids to come back to 75th Street like we are doing right now and continue to invest. 75th Street has gone through its ups and downs, so has the Black dollar in the city of Chicago. We're not a broke city. This is a $16 billion economy with 2.3 million people. And so what we're doing is hosting for 2.3 million people to come and be a part of a $16 billion economy where Black businesses have a great fair share in this.
The shopping spree kicks off this Saturday, April 4th at 75th and King Drive. Well, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson says the city is about to invest $300 million in affordable housing that will go mostly to the south and west sides. Perry Williams reports.
The money targets 15 developments that will create more than 1,200 housing units, and a majority of them will be affordable.
With this major investment in Chicago, one that will truly bring stability, opportunities, and hope to thousands of Chicagoans across our city.
Mayor Johnson says most of the developments will be on the south and west sides, and the projects will get underway within the next 18 months. I'm Perry Williams.
Cook County Sheriff's Police are preparing to conduct roadside safety checks in Fort Heights. Come next week, officers will stage a checkpoint near Lincoln Highway and Lexington Avenue. Officers are expected to ask motorists for driver's license to ensure drivers are complying with Illinois' license and registration requirements, as well as with state seatbelt and child restraint laws. They will also be on the lookout for impaired drivers. And Megan the Stallion is okay after nearly passing out in the middle of her performance in the Broadway musical Moulin Rouge. An understudy had to step in Tuesday night to continue the show. According to her spokesperson, doctors say she suffered from extreme exhaustion, dehydration, and a low metabolic levels. The Grammy Award-winning rapper made history as the first female to play in the Broadway production of Moulin Rouge. Well, that's a look at our news now on 1690 WVON. Traffic and weather up next. WVON News Time coming up on 11:33.
April 20th, recognized nationwide as 420, is more than a day. It's a chance to turn over a new leaf. Join Rufus Williams and New Leaf, Illinois for a special takeover of the WVON morning show at 8 a.m. Hear how New Leaf is helping people across Illinois clear cannabis and eligible non-cannabis records through free legal help and information. If you or someone you love has been held back by a past arrest, this conversation could open the door to a fresh start. Learn more at newleafillinois.org. Tune in April 20th at 8 a.m. for the New Leaf Illinois Takeover, only on WVON.
It's the afternoon show with Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray.
Congressman Jonathan Jackson on the line.
I saw a meme that said America will come and get you. When it's about the oil, they bombed in Iran, they've got oil. They bombed in Iraq, they've got oil. They bombed in Libya, they've got oil. And now they bombed in Venezuela, they've got oil. And they even came after Diddy because he had oil.
Come on, Congressman. What a great setup. That was good. That was good.
It's the afternoon show with Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray. Weekdays at 3 p.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Youth programs are transforming lives, building confidence, and creating brighter futures. This Saturday on the Community Health Focus Hour, join host Dr. Dorianne Miller and her guests to hear powerful stories, expert voices, and the real impact youth programs are making in our communities. This show will inspire you to support the next generation. When we invest in our youth, we protect our future and theirs. Listen on WVON and Facebook Live. The Community Health Focus Hour, Saturdays at 1 p.m., powered by the Urban Health Initiative of UChicago Medicine, at the forefront.
This report is brought to you by Aleve. At some point, body pain may creep in and become your reality that day. But Aleve is here to help you keep moving. One pill gives you up to 12 hours of body pain relief. So don't let pain hold you back. Try Aleve today. Use as directed.
WVON, traffic and weather now.
Travel times are looking pretty good. The Ryan moving along at the posted speed from 95th Street to downtown, but you do want to look out for a stall. It's blocking the left lane at 35th Street, not affecting your travel time because, as I said, the traffic pretty light. As you make your way along the Bishop Ford, Tuskegee Airmen Memorial, and to South Lakeshore Drive, you'll move along at the posted speed each way. The inbound side of the Stevenson in good shape right now. No problems, no delays. As you make your way inbound from I-355 to DeSoto Drive and back again. The inbound Eisenhower moving along at 31 minutes from Thorndale to the Burns Circle, 35 traveling out. And the inbound Kennedy, not too bad. A 40-minute trip from here to downtown. Getting to the airport, slightly heavier at 41 minutes. We're seeing some light rain across the city. The National Weather Service says we could see some severe thunderstorms later today and windy conditions this afternoon, early evening. Currently, it's 48 at O'Hare, 48 degrees in Tinley Park, and 48 here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flurnoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And then we'll get her headphones set up, Sonia, because
And now back to the Cleopatra Show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And we are back. You're listening to the Cleopatra Show. And listen, guys, I got something special for you. That's right. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom Ticket Giveaway. WVON is celebrating 63 years. And we are giving away presents, gifts, if you will. Win tickets to see August Wilson's Ma Rainey's Black Bottom at the Goodman Theater. A powerful story set right here in 1926 Chicago. I'm looking for my fifth caller. That's right, 5. What did they say? 5th. Look, Trump can say it. 5th. He said it a lot of times. I plead the 5th. I'm looking for my 5th caller. Give me a call at 773-591-1690 and win a pair of tickets to see Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, directed by the Harry Lennox. I am looking for you. Meanwhile, we're going to talk to Sale. Sale, what's on your mind? Talk to me. Welcome to WVON. Sal.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. I am at the quarry with Rael Jackson. We're planning for the Earth Day event on the 19th, inviting everybody, particularly you, to come out and participate in this effort on 75th Street, the east side of 75th Street. We heard this morning that quite a bit is going on the west of us over toward King Drive, and we will be hooking up with those people to let them know what we're doing over this way. But
okay, well, I'm going to direct you to our sales department if that's the case, Sale.
Okay, listen. Beyond beyond that, the brother who's going to be here on the 7th at the university,
Charlie Palmer. Yes, sir.
I called right away when you said that the tickets were running out. I called and left a message trying to reserve one of those tickets. I'm very interested in seeing what.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put you on hold, Sal, because we're on the radio and I want to be mindful of our time. So I'm gonna put you on hold and I want you to hold tight. I'll talk to you personally. Listen, guys, I want to make sure that we push on over to push too. So I need for us to understand that as well. That push is gonna keep going and keep hope alive. Yeah, I'm gonna put you on hold. So hold tight. Saturday morning forum will take place at the national headquarters for the Rainbow Push Coalition for a powerful conversation this Saturday for the forum at 930 East 50th Street. As global tensions rise and the fight for voter rights continues, we gather at the intersection of faith, justice, and action. With Easter weekend aligning with the anniversary of Dr. King's assassination, this is a moment for reflection and purpose. Doors open at 8:30. Forum begins at 10, plus an Easter egg hunt for the children. Show up, stand present, and be a part of the moment. So I look forward to you all showing up and showing out. I will be with my family this Saturday, but I will resume back at Push. I'm pushing for life. Meanwhile, we're waiting on our fifth caller, Sale. Titus, if we could put Sale on hold because it's echoing. Meanwhile, while we have that, you all are going to wonder, where is this beauty that was promised? Beauty is her name, but no. Her name ain't Beauty for real. But I mean, every time I see her, she's so beautiful. Deborah Vines is going to join us. I'm about to put her back on the screen with us. You see her via StreamYard, always looking fly till she died. There it is. There it is. Okay. Never a dull moment with Deborah Vines, CEO of the Answer Incorporated, an autism agency. And what I fell in love about with Deborah was her commitment. I'm attracted to commitment. I don't care what your beliefs truly are, unless it's to not cannibalize people, but to help people. If you are committed to that thing there, you have my attention. Now, whether or not it gets divided is how you show up and show out, okay? That makes sense, Deborah.
Yes.
Because if you divided on that commitment, I'm going to be divided on you. But you've been steadfast and lock steady. And I want to talk about World Autism Day with you.
Oh my God. Thank you so much, firstly, for having me on the show today. I love you, Cleopatra, the lady with the bad lips.
Thank you.
I tell you, her lips should be cloned because people are getting injections and everything to have lips like Cleopatra. So thank you so much for having me on the show.
Absolutely.
World Autism Day is something that is truly commended by our community to be celebrated. But we want to be celebrated every day. It's just like Women's History Month, Black History Month. It's a celebration every day, but for us to be celebrated on this commended day and month, April is the entire month, it's Autism Awareness Month. It just brings my heart joy because of my baby boy, who is 38 years old now, my baby boy. And, I just love the community that we serve and being able to help them to get through the journey of autism, intellectual and developmental disabilities, the way that my late husband, James, and we had so many challenges. So we just want to be able to help people.
And I love that about the authenticity, and your handsome son is in the room. He ain't no boy, he a grown man.
Girl, I'm going to get y'all cougars off my baby.
No, I know. You do realize I'm your favorite millennial. So I just had a birthday. So I just saw the 39th son in my life. So the fact that we're the same age is amazing to me.
That's crazy.
You didn't know that.
That's crazy. Yeah. But, Jason, I was looking at him today, and, I was running a little bit late, and I understand autism just kicks in, and, I'm just like, hurry up, Jason, hurry up, Jason. But, living the life of a autism parent, you just never know when autism is going to kick in, right? But over the years, I've learned how to fight what I need to fight. And sometimes it's just like, okay, let it go. Let them go through it. and we're gonna be okay. So I make sure that I try to allow myself and him enough time to get ready. But today was one of those days.
And you know what? I'm not even gonna blame it on tardiness. It's just grace.
Amen.
Grace has been a part of a newfound moment where I bless you with grace, because if the old me was to introduce to this behavior, what you showing me,
Yeah.
we wouldn't be. You dig?
Amen.
So I am going to submerge myself in grace, and with grace comes patience and determination to continue to show up right, even though you're wrong, man.
Absolutely.
Even though today might not be your day. Even though you may have challenge, it may not even be nothing about me. But the grace is for me to have enough patience for you to go through what you're going through.
You know, firstly, the grace is us waking up every
Amen.
day, and I talk to my body every day. I just talk to it like I get out to bed. Okay, the ankle bone connected to the the foot bone,
right, to the foot bone,
and I'll be 68 years old. Thank you, God, to be able to hopefully see 68 in June. But at the end of the day, you know, dealing with and living with a family member. I'm not going to say a child, adult, a family member that has a disability is a journey. It's truly a journey, and the Answer Incorporated is here to help you.
And that is the truth. So listen, guys, if you know something about World Autism Day, I'm gonna open the phone lines when we come back from break, because I'm still looking for my fifth caller. I think Titus, we got him. Okay, I want to talk. They gone. Oh, you don't want some tickets and didn't even talk to me about what we gonna wear, what your hair gonna look like. I got to do that spot check. I need to know. Oh no, but you better come fly. Whoever it was, who won, Titus? Who won, Shapiro? I just need to be nosy. Tell me who won. They shuffling. Now see, they might have lost your tickets. That's why you should have held the line until you talk to me. Listen, I need to justify.
Valerie and Lori.
Valerie and Lori. There it is. So y'all better be fly till you die. I'm trying to tell you. So congratulations to you all pleading the fifth and being my fifth caller for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom ticket giveaway right here on the Cleopatra Show. Now, getting back to you, Deborah, how long have you been committed to being and serving as a CEO for the Answer Inc.?
Well, we started in 2007, so we're almost 20 years old. Thankful be to God. 20 years old, because after the 5th year, that's when you say, okay, am I going to keep doing this? And then you get to the 10th year and things are growing, and I'm grateful to the state of Illinois for funding us and other foundations as well, the Chicago Foundation for Women and other foundations as well that have kept our doors open. Because oftentimes people think about, okay, you doing this in the community, doing that, but at the end of the day, it takes funds, right? Because we have to pay people to service our kids, and we just don't hire anyone. We hire people that not just necessarily want a job. I want people to work for the Answer that has a passion for our community, because trust and believe, our kids can feel if you're not authentic. They can feel it. So over the last almost 20 years, we've worked really hard, Cleopatra, on not just awareness, but bringing support to the families, awareness and support, advocacy through IEP support, our first responders program, where we help train the first responders on how to deal with our children, because there's been so many mishaps in the community, and sometimes death, because a lot of our first responders just don't know how to recognize a person that has developmental or intellectual disabilities. Not to say that if they do something wrong, they should have a slap on the hand because they have a developmental disability, but they should recognize it and be dealt with differently, right? And then we have our Spectrum Socialite and Gents program, where we teach etiquette, good touch, bad touch, ministration, the boys with certain things. So, as we grow, the needs of our children, the parents actually start talking about what their child needs. And, I can just go by what I need personally. And it's been a blueprint for the Answer Incorporated for the last 20 years. However, we listen to our families. We say, hey, where are you right now? And since we are 20 years old, we have actually shifted our paradigm to start being intentional with early intervention. We want to get those children when they're first diagnosed, or if you think that they're on the spectrum, let's get it done. Because do you know that in the African American community, we don't take our kids to the doctor as much as we should. And I'm not saying all of us, but this is statistically known. And a lot of our children aren't diagnosed until they're like 7 or 8 years old. And if we can get those diagnoses when you first start seeing something, because we as parents, we know when there's something going on with our kids. We know. We see them walking on their toes. We see them not paying attention. We see them babbling. We see them lining things up. All the signs and symptoms are there. But oftentimes, and I have to even go back to my home. My husband's like, oh, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. But we have to get out of that mindset that when you see something, you take care of it.
Well, one thing about it, we're talking to Deborah Vine, CEO of The Answer Inc. Today is World Autism Day. It is April 2nd, and she is a true champion and a steadfast leader rooted in the work, and is bringing and insistingly protecting Black boy joy. And I just had Black man joy, and I have this Black man in the room that is her sunshine. And absolutely, I have 3 of them. So there it is. The contribution of Black women that bring Black excellence into the world. We'll be back.
More from Cleopatra coming up next on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Tuned in to your favorite WVON personalities on Facebook Live? Don't just watch. Like it, love it, share it. Every click helps us grow the conversation and keep the community strong. So remember, like it, love it, share it, Chicago.
I've tried everything to stand out at work. Donuts, a company coffee blend, even dressed as the company mascot for Halloween.
There's an easier way. A ComEd facility assessment. Their engineer gave my company free insights and actions that saved us $732,000 on energy. Easy, right?
Learn how ComEd can help you save at ComEd.com/facility assessment. ComEd, powering lives. Savings will vary based on customers' usage and rate.
This Saturday, April 4th, Faith Meets Finance on the South Side. In the Black is back, an all-day family-powered economic activation led by the Chatham Business Association, Salem Baptist Church's Pastor Charles Dates, and 6th Ward Alderman Will Hall. Beginning at 10 a.m. on 75th and King Drive, more than 100 Black-owned businesses will line the streets, serving up everything from soul food to style, from handmade goods to health and beauty. And WVON's own Matt McGill would broadcast live from 10 a.m. until noon, and again from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Last year, hundreds showed up, and nearly $1 million circulated through just 3 blocks. This year, we go bigger and bolder. This is what economic empowerment looks like in real time. So don't just talk about community, invest in it, build it, spend in the Black. That's Saturday, April 4th at 10 a.m. on 75th and King Drive. It's more than a moment, it's a movement. Go to www.cbaworks.org and search for Chatham Bucks to buy Black every day. Friday night of premieres continues on Vaughn TV with a story that's as real as it is hilarious. This Friday, April 3rd at 7 p.m., don't miss King Boulevard, inspired by a truth many know but few talk about. Streets named after Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. that don't always reflect the dream they were meant to honor.
You live on MLK Boulevard.
Yes. Something wrong?
Legally, I can't ask you if you've been convicted of a crime, so I'm just going to stare at you with a look of concern.
Hey, what?
Follow one young man living on MLK Boulevard who decides to change that, setting out to transform his community into something worthy of Dr. King's legacy. See King Boulevard this Friday at 7 p.m. and stay tuned for more dynamic storytelling as the Friday night of premieres continues exclusively on Vaughn TV. Watch on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV Plus, the WVON app, or at VON.TV. Vaughn TV, for the culture, by the culture. On Saturday, watch Martin Luther King Jr., Enemies of the Dream, on Vaughn TV. See how recently declassified FBI documents and historical records suggest a deeper story that ultimately silenced one of the 20th century's most powerful voices.
Hi, I'm attorney Ernesto Borges. I'd like to invite you to join me for the Borges Report for lively discussions about legal matters, politics, government, entertainment, and the topics that concern you in your life. Start your Sunday, the Borges Week, with the Borges Report.
The Borges Report with Ernesto Borges, Sunday mornings at 9 on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
WVON traffic and weather now. Our focus right now is on the Kennedy, and now Kennedy's right now dealing with a new accident. It's actually a stalled vehicle blocking the left lane and division. On the outbound side of the Kennedy, a couple problems. There's some moving road work right now in the left lane. So right now we're seeing some delays between the Burns Circle and Ohio. Also, the exit ramp is blocked due to flooding. The outbound off-ramp to northbound Manheim Road, pretty heavy there. Taking a look at your weather, we're seeing some light rain across the city. Gray skies. The National Weather Service says we're headed toward a daytime high of 70. Right now it's 50 at O'Hare, 50 in Riverdale, and 50 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And now back to the Cleopatra Show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And we are back. You're listening to the Cleopatra Show. And listen, guys, it's more than a moment. It's a movement. Spin in the Black is back, turning faith into economic power. And the Chatham Business Association wants you there. Saturday, April 4th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Head to the 75th Street and King Drive Boulevard right there for a full day of family, faith, and Black-owned business. Led by Salem Baptist Church's Pastor Dr. Charly Dates and 6th Ward Alderman Reverend Will Hall. This is where community meets commerce. And catch our very own Matt McGill broadcasting live from 10 a.m. to noon. Then again from 2 to 4. Over 100 vendors, food, fashion, beauty, and more. Last year, nearly $1 million poured right back into the community, and Cleopatra saying it can be $2 million, and it can be done this year. So therefore, you're going to spend with purpose, spend with power, and spend in the Black. Listen, Deborah Vines is still hanging out. Look at that beauty right in that camera, joining us via StreamYard, and today is World Autism Day. And I thank God for advocates like Deborah that is champion for Black spaces and Black children everywhere, because we need to create space. You were talking about IEPs, individual education plans. We're talking about life plans, skill sets, and much more training, and incorporating a safe space for them to grow and flourish, because they're a space where we all belong. And there are gifts amongst all of us. So, Deborah, you have a special event coming up April 18th. Talk to us.
Yes. I'm super excited. I'm always excited, though, but it's our 18th annual Autism Developmental and Intellectual Disabilities Walkathon. And the way this walkathon actually started 18 years ago, I took Jason to a camp. And the camp was an overnight camp for an entire week. And I didn't see anyone that looked like us. And so I came home and I told my husband, I said, we have to be able to provide this opportunity to other families as well. So we started fundraising to sponsor children and adults from age 8 to 50 to horseback riding camp. We've actually changed our trajectory since then, but that's the way it started, because we have to make sure that we're seen, right? And that our families have all the opportunities in any capacity that they can be in. And that was something that I was really excited about. Jason would go every single year. And so we kind of shifted and reset it this year. And I started listening to the needs of the families, and they need to pay fees because a lot of families don't want their children and young adults to go away. And so we want to be able to provide that opportunity for summer camp. Now, summer camp is very expensive. Sometimes it's almost $500 a month. And summer is 2 months. So that's $1,000 out of a household. So we want to be able to provide those opportunities to the families, and also therapeutic services like speech therapy, occupational therapy, to be able to get screened. So we want to provide scholarships for those things as well. And the day is just going to be a great day. Like always, we haven't changed the foundation of the event. Is going to be so much more to come. And so I think we have to go to a commercial break.
No. My show ends at noon, so I want you to tell folks where they have to be.
Okay, well, let me go then. And so, we have DJ Brandon Barker, who is actually a young man that's been with us for a very long time. And, we saw the musical capabilities in him. And he's a DJ now. And he's a special needs young man with Down syndrome. And also, we have Rico Michael Jackson. We're going to be doing screens with the Illinois Kidney Foundation, and so many more things. We have
So where's it located?
75 vendors at Proviso West High School in Proviso Township, and we've been there for like the last 9 years. So thank
And
you
what
to
time
District
is it?
209. 11 o'clock until 3. Registration starts at 11:30, but we're also going to have some special celebrity guests that I can't name right now, but we're going to have some celebrities in the building. Last year we had Sylvester Tolliver from All American. So yeah, you just never know who's going to pop up at the Answers events.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Deborah Vines. Listen, guys, April 18th at Proviso West High School from 11 to 3. Please check out this amazing event
And
dedicated
donate.
to autism. So we'll talk about that. Meanwhile, one more announcement when it comes to Friday night premieres. It is debuting right here, April 3rd at 7 p.m. And I want you all to check this out this Friday. You don't want to miss King Boulevard, a comedy with a powerful message inspired by the reality of streets named after Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Follow one young man on a mission to transform his community and bring new life to Martin Luther King Boulevard with the help of friends, allies, and a little humor along the way. King Boulevard will take place this Friday at 7 p.m. only on Bond TV. Watch on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV Plus, the WVON app, or you can check it out at Vaughn.tv. Listen, to my fifth caller that won those tickets, I look forward to hearing all about your amazing opportunities. So now you got to call me and let me know how was Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. To all of those that called in, I thank you all for being to class on time. Class started on time. We're going to end on time. Deborah Vines, thank you for stepping by and hanging out with me.
Having me.
And kudos to all of the parents and the advocates and those that are living with autism. Today is a special day for you. Congratulations to another successful trip around the sun when it comes to Autism Day. And I'm wishing you nothing but the best when it comes to your event April 18th at Proviso West High School. I'll remind you all next week. And then big ups to Charly Palmer for blessing us with Black Man Joy. That's how I'm going to leave the show. I'll see you all tomorrow on the Cleopatra Show at 9 a.m.
Periods of rain as temperatures climb near 70 on this Thursday, April 2nd, 2026. I'm in Edward Women's headlines. A Southside family is deeply mourning the loss of a Hyde Park High School senior killed in a Dalton hit and run, and they're asking the public's help in finding the driver. This week,